Barbie Forteza never expected it. They had walked the cobbled streets of the city hand in hand, laughing at nothing, stopping occasionally for coffee or pastries that neither of them finished. Paris had always held a certain kind of magic, but she thought it was just another romantic trip. Nothing more, nothing less. But David had been unusually quiet that evening. Not distant, just thoughtful. His fingers had tightened slightly around hers as they crossed the Seine, and he kept stealing glances at her when he thought she wasn't looking. Barbie noticed, of course. She always noticed the little things about him. So when he stopped walking and turned to face her, her breath caught, not because she knew what was coming, but because something in his eyes had changed. He looked nervous. Not the kind of nervous you feel before a performance or a red carpet. This was different. Deeper. He took a moment before speaking. "Barbie," he said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. "I don't think I've ever known peace until I met you." She smiled, unsure of what to say. David wasn't usually this sentimental without teasing her halfway through. "I used to think love was this chaotic, overwhelming thing. But with you it's quiet. It's calm. It's home." Her heart started to race. She could feel her knees weaken, and she tried to steady herself, laughing nervously. "David." But he was already reaching into his coat pocket. It was simple. No grand gesture, no crowd, no cameras. Just him, her, and the quiet hum of the city around them. He knelt down, pulled out the ring, and for a moment everything else disappeared. "Will you marry me?" Barbie didn't cry right away. She just stared at him, stunned. Her hand flew to her mouth and she shook her head. Not in refusal but disbelief. Then the tears came. Not loud, not dramatic. Just soft, trembling sobs that spilled over as she nodded again and again. "Yes," she whispered, her voice cracking. "Yes, of course." David stood up slowly, slipping the ring on her finger with surprisingly steady hands. Then he pulled her into his arms, holding her tightly, as if just by touching her he could make sure it was all real. They didn't say much after that. They didn't need to. Later, as they sat quietly in a tiny cafe nearby, her hand resting on his, Barbie looked down at the ring, then back at him. "You really surprised me." David smiled. "Good. I wanted it to be ours. Just ours." And in that quiet corner of the city, two people who had shared countless scripts and scenes suddenly found themselves writing a story that was entirely unscripted. One that didn't need an audience, or a director, or perfect lighting. Just the two of them choosing each other. Not for a scene. Not for a role. But for life.